Okay guys, we are live now. So what I have here is the dummy that I just covered up with the rainbow. So I'm just going to show you how it looks on the dummy. It's a top view. So I just cover the top so you can have the feel of the clouds and the blue sky and all that. So I have also made some clouds that went along with the rainbow. So I'll also be showing you how to make those clouds to go with the rainbow. Okay, so this has been poked on the cake. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove it from the dummy and then lay it flat on the counter. So you'll be able to keep looking at it as I work on the other rainbow that I will be making it. Okay, so it's poked inside the the dummy, and you can see it is just kind of stable and it is not falling down and all that. And the back of the rainbow looks like this. Okay, and that's the front. Okay, so I'm just going to remove it. There is wire there. I'm just leaving it and I'm removing the dummy off. So I just had the dummy to take a good picture. Okay, and so these are the clouds. So I'm just setting this up there. Okay, so what that one important tool that I used is the extruder. Okay, I'm not sure if all of you guys have an extruder, but there are possibilities that you just got this tool and maybe not knowing where we will have to use it, or maybe you just got it because and you've been using it as well. If you have this, then you get a very neat finish, and all of the ones in the rainbow is just going to be the same thickness. Otherwise you might have to do it with your hands and make your sausage on your own, and that way you have to be like really very careful in trying and making each of the the sausages the same thickness. So, but today the main thing will be I'll be showing you how to use an extruder, when out of which I will also show you one sausage, or how you can make it using your hands without any tool. Okay, so I have colored up, and I didn't follow the exact Vipjya rainbow thing because I just wanted to, it doesn't have to be all the time like that. So I just made the colors that I liked. I have them all colored and cling wrapped, and I'd used the Maricolor gel, just a few drops of each until I just liked each of them. Here there's fuchsia and pink, and that's this, the first layer, and then the blue, and then the green, and then the orange, and then the purple. Okay, so I'm just going to put them aside and start taking them out as I make each of them. Okay, so that what I've used today is again Anna's modeling paste, because as I keep saying in each of my lives, I'm just making use of all the stocks that I already have with me, and I'm just not able to choose what I really want to use, but I feel good that way because I'm just able to make use of the versatility of all the products and the brands that I have, and they're all doing really well for me with all that I have made. So this one preferably you can do with gum paste, but what you can see here is quite sturdy and good and strong as well. And the good thing is with Anna's paste, it is not going to become rock hard inside. You can still go and bite into it and it is going to be candyish, like I keep saying. So this one will stay, which is like, this is tested now, which is Anna's paste tested. Confex gum paste will definitely work. Confex modeling paste will also work. And the homemade gum paste will also work. What will not work is fondant. A plain fondant, but depending on whatever brand that is, and if it could dry in a room temperature, well and good, or in AC, well and good. But if you know that it is sticky, and if you know that it is not very stable, and it is quite loose, then you might have to maybe add CMC to it and then try, or otherwise try making your own gum paste if you don't have any of these paste, and you can make. So I think I promised giving the gum paste recipe, but I'll see if I'll be able to make a recipe card today and post it up for you guys. Okay, so so that's the extruder. Okay, so I'm just pushing this up a little bit so we have space to work. Okay, so that's the extruder, and here is the the metal plate with different shapes. So I am not sure if I have all that has come with the set. Maybe I have lost a few, but I think I have most of them. So that extruder comes with these different holes. So all this comes with this extruder. Okay, so depending on what you want to do, or what kind of the long strands are going to come out of this, what kind you want the long strand to be, then you can choose which ones you want to use. So for me, I just need a round one. So depending on the size of my rainbow, I could choose between this, and then the one that is here is a size that it's in between these two. Okay, so these ones you can maybe use it for grass, and this is a flat ribbon thing, and that's the hexagon, and this also can be used as a ribbon. Okay, and the really thin sausages, you can use this. So I'm just going to put them aside. So I have chosen what size I want to use. I'm putting back. So it's better to always keep them together in one place. So let me just show you how to set it up. So maybe when you get it for the first time, one of this plate is already fixed inside. Okay, so see, so this is the one that we'll be using. I really don't know what is the name of each of the parts of this extruder. Okay, so these are the different parts. Okay, so let's call this the bottom, and let's call this the top, and let's call this the handle, let's call this the plate, and this the lid. Okay, I'm just randomly just using the name so we can just address as I am just showing it. So this plate, there's a top here in which this lid goes and closes. Okay, so this will be here on the top. I mean, the plate goes into one side. I think both the sides look almost the same. Okay, so this goes there, and then this lid comes on top of that, and you close it. Okay, so this is quite tight enough, and this will go inside. Okay, once you put your this necessary color, which I think we will do right away. So I'm just taking the purple one first. Let me just change the order of the color. So I'm just randomly picking what I just got first. And the paste, whatever paste that you're going to put inside your extruder, should be quite soft. If it is hard, or if it is not quite soft, what is going to come out of the that hole will not be smooth. The outside of that the sausage will not be smooth enough. So to make it soft, what do? You kind of knead it really very well. Put pressure, press it down, make sausages, bend it and knead it and heat it up in your hands quite well. Okay, and then make a sausage so it can. So here is that the plate that we fixed. So the other side is where you need to just drop the paste inside. Okay, so that sausage, whatever, you can't have a ball and then try and squish it in. That's not a good idea. So you make a sausage and then make it easy enough to let it pass through. Okay, this goes inside, and then see, this one should get down. Okay, and now I'm just going to use this bottom part of this top. Okay, I'm just tucking it in, and here this part is separate. Here this alone I need to tighten up here, but don't make it like really tight because you might have to keep opening it to change between the colors. Okay, and now this is the handle, right? Now it'll act like a syringe. Now as you are rotating this handle, this the thread here will kind of move inside, and that piston kind of a thing will start moving inside, and it starts squishing out, and then you will get the fondant or the paste that is there in that shape of this hole in the plate. Okay, so this needs to be, so it will be easy as long as the set of whole fondant is squished. So maybe you when you added that sausage, maybe it was from here to here, and then that piston goes down and then it tries to squishes everything, and then you will find pressure here. When you see the pressure that's developing, like right now you start seeing that this is starting to come out. So the best way to get it out is to hold it upright like that. So I'm just trying and getting out the whole thing, and now I'll just use my craft knife to cut out. There's excess here which we need to eject it out. For right now, let me just see how much I need. So the first the color of the rainbow, you just want it to be, so this is the innermost. Okay, so here this initial part, I don't like it much, so I'm just going to cut it off. I'm just looking for my scale. I don't have it, so I just want to make sure that's excess. That's too much as well. Let me just bring it to one side. If that's excess, I will cut it off. So the first initial position, so you cannot keep it like this and then assume you can fix it at a later point of time. This part should be like really clean to begin with, and then if you think it is like too tall for you, you don't want it too tall, or maybe this much is enough, then again now you can go ahead and cut off the excess. And when you cut off, just make sure. Okay, so that will be my initial color, and I'll just let it there like that, checking the shape if it's all good. Okay, so now all these excess, you put them back together, you might have to use it later. So here just kind of try and tighten as much so you get the last bit of it out. You can save that. And now to move on to the next color, there's just a little bit of this, the previous color here, that will get ejected out by itself when you are adding the next color. The tip of that next color will have that little bit of purple, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm randomly picking the next color, which is orange. Kneading it, making it soft, and now I'll open this one out. Removing it off. Here you can clean this up, and that little bit of purple will not come out. Okay, putting the orange inside. If the whole thing goes inside, well and good. Otherwise, how much goes inside, then remove the excess off. Putting this lid in. Okay, so now this will abstract, okay, because there is space inside. Now this one is on the top, right? You need to loosen this up, bring it down. And now twisting this quite quickly, and then let me see the orange starting to come out. And now let me just go and start ejecting it out. I was able to do it, on that way, but now the camera is obstructing me. So let me just take it out. Well, anyway, I just don't need so long. But right now, if you just take it out, and then you see the bumps are there, and you really want it to be straight. So just work on, make it straight. Don't put pressure, otherwise the thickness will reduce. So this will go here. For the second one, I'm not going to, turn around and then make that swirl. So there's a little bit of excess, but that's fine. But right now, you want that one, sausage to stick on to the other set of sausage. So I'll just open them up. That's edible glue with a little bit of the edible glue in the brush. So I'm just going to apply glue. Here on the top of that rainbow color, that sausage that's been shaped up. Okay, so once that glue is done, just bring this together. Just brushing off the excess glue on the top. Okay, so now I'll just go exactly, cut and remove this and flatten that end up. I'll just keep checking the shape quite now and then. Removing off all the orange out. Saving, storing it. So I'm just going to quickly continue the same thing. Wish there was a fast forward here on the live, but yeah, unfortunately we don't have. But yes, I'll just try and be as quick because it is anyway the repeat steps. Opening up. Wipe this off. Make the sausage so that can go inside comfortably in. Push it in and then bring this down. Start twisting. Okay, so now there are bumps, so gently just roll it over so the bumps are just smoothened out. Now edible glue going on the top. So this one I'm just going to do that curling up starting from the third color. So I'll just stick only till there. This is excess, cutting it out. So I'll just see how much I need to curl up. Okay, so I'll just turn it and cut this much out, but this part I want it to be rounded and not sharp. I mean, not very flat like that. So I'm kind of gently working it out and then dabbing a bit on top of it and then making it rounded. And just making a curve like that, twisting it and twisting it back. Okay, now I'll see how much lower or higher I need that. Okay, so I like it there and I just leave it. Now remove off the excess, save it. Moving on to green. These ones quite not okay because those impressions will come out of the hole. Opening it. That's a lot of work. You feel like, okay, I could rather make the sausages with my hand, but then the even thickness of each of the sausage, the precision is what will make that whole look really very nice. Cutting off. Glue up here. So giving excess on the right side is more important. Rubbing off the excess glue. Okay, so here I just make a U. Round it up. and make my first curl very close like that, and then curl it up, and then keep this one close to the first curl that we did. One last color. I just chose 5. You can choose 7 as well. So when you're maybe making 7, 3 sausages, you can have it without curling up, and then 4 maybe you can curl up. In 5, because 2 is not curled and 3 is curled, looks nice. On 7, 3 without curl and 4 with curls will be good. Chitra, the tool is called an extruder. Maybe you're too lazy every time, though you have an extruder, you quite not use it. But I just, suggest you can start using it, because the final look of whatever you're making will just be really good and neat. The glue that I am using is an edible glue from the brand Sugarin, but you can make your own edible glue. Mix like maybe half a cup of warm water with half a teaspoon of CMC or Tylose. Mix it and then keep it in a box, and you can keep reusing it in place of edible glue. And that is the edible glue which most of the cake artists use. I'm using this because I had it, and if this gets over, I'll make my own edible glue. So just straightening up a bit. So that will be my last one. Cut it off here, and here again just make a U and cut it out and soften this up. Okay. And make the first curl tight and then roll it up. Okay, so that will be the rainbow. So how do I poke the wires? Let me just go grab my wires. So basically, a toothpick will be, a good option for this. But as I said, I ran short of my toothpicks, so I'm just using an 18G wire. A toothpick will be good enough. If you have a toothpick, then use that. But right now I'm just trying to keep both my wires the same height. So 18G is fine, but I was a little doubtful. I thought a toothpick would be better, but this one is 18G and that's quite sturdy. So I think 18G will be good enough. But right now I'm just going to insert it into my second color. If you're making the seventh, I insert into the third. But right now, as I'm inserting, but anyway I cannot go in the same direction as this orange. So as I'm inserting, it will go in, and it is okay even if it goes inside the adjacent color. So okay, so much can go in. So inserting into this same color, just make sure it doesn't pop out here, and then the length of both the sides are the same. And now I'll just remove this out and then dip this wire into my edible glue. Lift my edible glue because it's just at the end of the bottle. So I'll just use my brush and kind of spread out the glue to that length that will be inserted. Now I'll just poke it back into the same hole again, and make sure the height that's protruding out is the same. I'll do the same thing to this okay, so let me just brush off excess glue wherever I see. Very cute. Okay, so okay, so this needs to be let to dry. I'm just checking if this portion is quite flat. Okay, so this is going to take some time to dry, and I'm not sure if I'll just lift and show you what happens at the end of the live. For right now, I just want to gently remove this. Let me just see if I can grab it now. Just don't want to change the shape. But if we had started this off on a parchment paper, or it's not a good idea moving it like that, because I just want to show you the clouds. Okay, so just put them all back in place, because there is glue that was stuck at the bottom, but that will come out if it is stuck to the base. Like when you are moving it, you need to give some time. But I had made this yesterday night because I just wanted to give it quite some time. Okay, Does glue shows after it's dried? No, glue doesn't show up after it's dried because here I had used good amount of glue. There's little shine here, but that doesn't really show up. Okay, so now let's just start with the clouds. Okay, so for the clouds, I think maybe you guessed how that one is made. You need few balls of different sizes put together. I'm using the same piece. Okay, so put this aside and give space for me to work. Just so much is enough. I'm just going to make only one set of the cloud. Okay, so this is taken from the pack, so you need to knead it really well. Okay, and I'm just going to make balls of different sizes. That's like really small. Okay, so just put them together in the way you want your clouds to be. But here you see each of them are kind of different shapes. I just tried different shapes to show you all how different shapes. What are the different shapes that you can have? So if they are soft, I'm not making the gum paste today, but I don't think I have the ingredients with me stocked up. I don't think I have gelatin and all that. So I'm using up the paste what is available with me, but I can share the recipe of the gum paste and you can make it if you have your ingredients. So I had applied the glue on the inside. Okay, so I can put the balls together like that, but don't flatten them out, but just leave it out in that rounded form. Okay, and this needs to be dried obviously. So now I've just draped fondant on top of it, and if it is not dried up, now if you're going to cover with fondant, you might squish it and then make it flat. So this whole thing needs to dry overnight. Okay, and then but I am just going to try and cover this up now to show you, because I don't have a covered a dried group of balls. Okay, so I'm just going to, what name wire is available? The wire is an 18G floral wire what I have used. You can use toothpick. Okay, so you need corn flour, just rolling it really thin. Okay, so once this whole thing dries up, after which is when you need to be doing this step. I'll need only this part, so this it's stuck, that doesn't matter, I'll just use it up later. So this will be covered on top of the group of balls. So this set of fondant or that sheet, I'm using the same modeling paste. You can use fondant as well. This could be gum paste. So after this is dried up, you'll do the step. You will apply glue on top of the group of balls. After the glue is done, just cover up and put your pressure in the gaps only, okay, and just go. So as you go to the bottom like that, you might have folds like that, okay, so avoid getting the folds because you want the sides as well to be smooth, okay. And here you can just take the help of Dresden tool. We'll be cutting out the excess anyway. So I'm just tucking the fondant or the sheet that has been draped inside in the same shape as the um, set of balls that are stuck together. I'm just tucking inside. See, I'm just going inside and I am just tucking in. So when I am tucking in like that, the sides and the inside will be covered as well. But anyway, I'll go and I'll cut off the excess. So making markings here on the outside is fine, but on the sides of the cloud you need to avoid making any markings. Now I'll just go and cut the excess. Okay, so remove this excess off and just hold this together. And now this is soft, right? I need to be like really gentle in handling this. But when you do, you really have to, work on it once the group of balls are dried out. So now I'm just using the Dresden tool and not the sharp edge, but a little inside where it is quite broader. I'm just going inside and then making the indents where I know the balls edges are there. So the clouds get a little deeper, but don't make cuts. You really don't want to have like deeper indents, just a little bit. Okay, so that will be the cloud. Also the back of it is going to show the different balls, okay. So it depends on see, if this one is going to be on the cake like that, no, inserted into the cake. Now if this one is going to be stuck here, so you can avoid covering this bottom part up. And for all of this I just kept the back with the balls shown. But if you are going to keep it here, the back doesn't have to be covered, because when you are going to put this on the cake, you will brush glue here and then put it on the bottom. But say suppose you are arranging some of the clouds here and then some on the on the cake, then you need to be covering this part up. What you can do, you can in fact use the same paste. I'm just showing how do you maybe blend just some glue, because it is flat, right? Just stuck, so go around and cut off the excess. So but if you're going to randomly place the clouds without having to put on right on top of the rainbow, then cover up the back side as well, and that will make your the clouds have a neat look. You need to blend them, actually make it neat. The idea of covering the back is to make it neat, right? So just covering up and making a patch alone is not sufficient. You need to kind of blend them together and give it a neater look. By adding that patch, if it is going to make it even more not very neat look, then the purpose is not solved, right? So keep blending. So you have the cloud that's been covered on all sides, and not like this. But that you can do for the clouds that you're keeping it elsewhere. But the ones that is going to go on the rainbow can be open like that. Okay. So I think that will be the end. This definitely needs to dry up. If I'd like to lift it now, it's quite soft. Okay, so that needs to be dried up. So overnight dried up rainbow is just going to be like this. It's the same paste that I use, but here you can see when I had inserted the wire is just poked out, so I removed it and then poked it back again. But even those little bit of accidents doesn't matter. They'll anyway be quite sturdy, and if you have made it with gum paste, they are going to be rock hard. There's no escape. But then doubtful ones are fondant with CMC, and depends on your climate, and is it humid or is it going to dry, and all that will come into picture. Now I just read through the queries. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. Glue shows dried up. After dry, does it show? I have answered. Difference between fondant and gum paste. Fondant is soft even after you draped and leave it out, and it doesn't hold up shape when you're making figurines and all that. Gum paste will dry harder. Gum paste is not suitable for draping the cake. Fondant is used for draping the cake. Show the recipe. I'm not making gum paste. I think I answered that. Can you tell me what is the name of the wire available? 18G floral wire. Where can we find these tools in Chennai? Most of the baking supply stores have. Extruder, New Arif will have, but I'm sure you guys have to wait for the lockdown to be lifted, before going ahead and buying this. Most of the baking supply store will have. Sugar paste and fondant the same? Yes, sugar paste and fondant, they both are the same. Did you use black color also? And how to place this on the cake in the center? Black color I have not used. Where do you see black, Lata? And how do you place it on the cake? Means I think I started off the live with having this poked in the dummy. You just need to poke it in the dummy. Let me just bring the dummy here. So that's the dried one, right? So that's how it was. So that's how you poke it in your cake, and then place your like the one that was there in the picture, right? And then you use your the clouds, and then place the clouds here. So it just stays there like that. And because I tested after taking the picture in the morning today, I just left it out like that for 3-4 hours, and it was quite sturdy. It was not going to fall down or get floppy and all that. It was quite sturdy like that. Okay, so you can see it's just sturdy. It's just falling off, and then it wouldn't break, and it's quite sturdy. I used all these colors, Lata: pink, blue, green, orange, purple, and I used AmeriColor, and those are the ones that I have already explained in the beginning of the live. You can watch it back again anyway. Now if you have to do it, you need to be watching it from the starting, and some of the things have already been answered in the starting. Okay, so now you guys can make this and post it on the Cakes Unplugged by Fondbites magazine. Facebook group, and when you make it, also put it on your Instagram stories and tag me so I can reshare your stories as well. And see you tomorrow on day 15 of the 20-day quarantine cake art challenge. Thank you guys. Bye bye.